So a lot of times people will say that it's about the message, not the messenger. And I agree sometimes. But I do think that the messenger does matter. And I say this for people, especially when we're thinking of content creation, and sometimes it feeling overwhelming, like, what am I creating content for? There's 30,000 other people talking about the same topic. Everybody's talking about this. There's tons of people on the internet saying they're astrologers and this is, and this is what their take is. But I also say it as everyone doesn't see things exactly the same, and everyone doesn't explain things in the same way. You might need someone to break it down in a different way. And I'm not just talking about astrology. I'm talking about in general. So a lot of times people get intimidated when people are like, post your content, just post it. Doesn't matter. Right? But at the same time, somebody needs to hear what you're saying, how you're saying it, and how you're delivering it. And so that's what I think of when we talk about this idea of like, content. And there's already somebody else talking about this, but you have a different experience with it. You might explain it in a different way that helps that person understand something. You have people that are like, I didn't understand astrology until I heard that one person speak, and now I get something, right? Messengers, you can connect to people for all different ways. I'm a Sag moon and I'm a Virgo, so I can learn from anybody. Now, there are certain people where it's like, oh, we relate to each other. I can learn from you, right? You've had the same experience. But I'm the type of person, like, I don't shut people down because, oh, you're not the same as me. But the messenger matters. Sometimes you need to hear from someone who's from the same background or same, industry or field as you, or someone who lives the same lifestyle, lives in the same city, someone who's the same gender, or someone who has some same spiritual beliefs. Whatever the case is, sometimes you need to hear from someone. You're going to connect to people for different ways, in different ways for different reasons. And so, yes, the messenger matters. And so when we're thinking of oversaturation, you should have a range of people that you listen to or that you learn from. And I'm not saying that you can't have your favorites, but I'm saying when I think of messenger energy, I think it is important that we're not saying we're the only messenger. I'm not the only astrologer that can tell you something. I'm going to tell you my take. I'm going to tell you, why I've, come to certain conclusions or what the teachings are of something. But I also say with spirituality a lot, be careful of someone saying they're the only one that can tell you something. You're not. Spirituality is not a, grab bag. Spirituality and explaining and helping people. Now, yes, you can argue that astrology is, you can interpret it without putting a whole bunch of spirituality into it. But then again, how do you discuss certain terms and certain, things of fate, even with traditional? Now, let's get into it. The messenger. What kind of messenger might you be? That's ninth house energy based off what's in your ninth house. I'm just going to do signs right now. Okay. Energy of the signs. Okay. So if we're talking about energy that is on the cusp, let's look at it. Aries energy in that ninth house is going to be something around you're direct. You inspire people to do things with your message. You should do this. You should do that. Let's get up. Let's go. If you have Taurus energy in your ninth house, you're the type of messenger that may be, you help people understand the foundations of something. Fundamentally, what is it? Okay, I've Taurus in my ninth house, and I have North Node in the Taurus. And so I understand things at a very complex level, but I don't think that I'm here to necessarily preach people to death. I'm not here to confuse you with what I'm saying. I know a lot of big words, but I don't need to do a word salad to get you to understand what I'm saying. So my Taurus energy, ninth house, is how do I help people in practical ways understand what I'm saying, especially when I teach about spirituality. I do, I have, worked in education as well. But Taurus energy is like I'm helping people with the foundation of understanding something. And to do that, you have to be able to speak to people in real, authentic ways. So that's Taurus. Gemini energy in that house, okay? And again, you always want to look at where the planet is as well. That can give you extra insight, but this is just general. Gemini energy is you're here to help people think about the different ideologies and the thought process. You're here to help people understand where to study, where to get information about the things that they believe. Where are the teachings? Where are they holding the lectures? Those types of things. So Gemini energy is like helping people congregate and understand where to study or where to learn together or where to do some type of thinking and some type of approach in terms of those things. Cancer in the ninth house, you're here to help people understand the importance, the message of caring, of remembering the things that you're connected to. Sometimes history. Cancer energy in the ninth house can be really strong people who help preserve history, help you understand something like where did it come from. That could be Capricorn as well, but with Cancer, it is more so we're going to preserve what it is that we belong to. right? We belong to this. This is important because we come from a people that do this, or it's important because we do that. So Cancer in the ninth house messaging is around how to preserve the things that are natural or that are your origin story, how to preserve things from your culture, how to preserve things from your mother's side of the family, those types of things, perhaps. Now, if we're looking at Leo in the ninth house is here to magnify and to showcase the ability of being an orator, to be a good speaker, to have great speaking skills or strong speaking skills. So as a messenger, you might be more of a person that can influence people. You get them excited. People who are, leading big congregations, church. Remember, the ninth house traditionally was God. So if you're talking about like church and those types of things, that could be that Leo energy. Now, if we're talking Leo, sun, where's the sun in the person's chart will help us understand even more. Now, if we're talking about Virgo in the ninth house, you're the messenger that reminds people the importance of work ethic, of what to do, of how to get things, how to expand using your work ethic, right? How do you expand? How do you improve? Your messaging is more so motivational. Your messaging is more so around the ways in which you help people craft or develop different strategies and techniques in order to do those types of things, to improve their life, to expand, right? It's like I'm helping you understand how to not just make your life better, but how you can go farther. You can grow. You can, you can grow in size, increase. Libra in the ninth house, these are the folks that are joining partnerships together, joining people together, joining situations. Now, again, you look at where Venus is in that chart, because you could say, well, okay, I have Libra there. But Venus is in the sixth house. So maybe that has something to do with partnerships of service, right? But your job is the messenger to link people together that have a common way of thinking, belief systems, linking in those partnerships, people who are coming together who already have a certain sense of the way in which they think that, the world is, life, philosophy, those types of things. Bridging together opportunities for people to expand their horizons. Like you partner together. So Libra is partnering. It could be as simple as you saying, you know what, you want to grow in that field. I have a friend who works in that field. Let me link you guys together, because y'all can do a lot together. Or, I have an opportunity for you, but you might have to go outside of your comfort zone. Right? The opportunity, you're going to have to move across the country. The opportunity, you're going to have to go travel overseas, right? And again, that's Scorpio. Now, Scorpio, the messenger, right? When we're talking about Scorpio or the message, it is around the intensity of the experiences that you have, intertwining yourself in those experiences. So when we look at ninth house topics, we can get very caught up in the fact that Jupiter, which is a planet that deals with risk taking, but also optimism, and Jupiter can be finicky though as well, right? Jupiter can be give me more, indulging, and not always about the substance of things. And so with Scorpio there, again, look at where the planet is that rules Scorpio in your chart. But Scorpio energy there, let's say you have Scorpio in the chart and a planet, whatever, in the ninth house, can be about integrating yourself more into those experiences, really becoming serious. This is where you can become serious about something and very disciplined in a way in which you can then promote your transformation. Where with Scorpio, you can actually see the transformation, like a person who's a messenger, a person who's sharing a certain message, philosophy, the way to be, life, right? Those types of things. You actually are the proof. I did this and look at me. I did this program and look at where I am now, right? Like that type of ascending to something which you are expanding yourself and growing. Sag is prominent there. Sagittarius energy in that ninth house doesn't have to do too much because it naturally belongs there because Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius. So Sag energy naturally has that mentor, preacher, or lecturer or type of energy. And it doesn't mean the person is literally those things. It could mean in your neighborhood, that person is known as, that's the person, they have so much knowledge, they have so much experience, like they're really great to talk to. Sagittarius is the natural placement there. And so what you'll see is your messaging is your words impact other people's way of thinking and believing. It's not just that they have a thought, it impacts, Gemini can impact ideas and thoughts. Oh, this person said this. But Sag is more so the purpose and the belief and the mission. And you start believing in things more. You start having certain mindsets around how you want to live your life, what you believe in, what your philosophy is, what you think life should be. What are some of the things that are important to people and the ways in which we grow and expand? Messenger, your messages impact people's way of approaching life. That's how deep it is with that. Capricorn. Capricorn, the messenger through the ninth is you're the reality. You're like bringing in reality. Capricorn here now, especially if Capricorn is a placement in that house. All right, Sun in Capricorn, Mercury in Capricorn, you bring reality to people's sense of beliefs. And sometimes it might be telling people something that they thought was true that's not, right? It is sometimes telling people that they're not in the right space. That's very nuanced, right? It's like telling someone like, actually, you need more experience to do this. You can't do this, right? It's the example, the real life example is going to a job interview and they're like, you need more life experience. You need more credentials. You need to master a little bit more before you can do this job. That is very much an experience of Capricorn energy, ninth house, like that, tell it like it is. But you're not just telling it like it is, it's ninth house topics, sending in ways in which they are growing. People understanding more about their life decisions and where they need to map themselves out. What do they believe? Even sometimes people have to understand, like, people changing viewpoints, changing their belief systems because of someone else, changing their direction because of like someone hitting them with that harsh reality. That's the type of Capricorn messenger. Aquarius messenger, ninth house. The Aquarius messenger is more so helping people see outside of themselves. Aquarius can be helpful here because Aquarius energy is not self-driven. That is why when we talk about, it's considered to be in detriment when it's in the sun, right? But also Aquarius energy is the collective, right? And it's not about loving and hugging on the collective all the time, but it can be it's about the collective and what you want to give to the collective in terms of your ideas and your mindset and your ideology. So when Aquarius is in the ninth house, as opposed to the 11th house, it is more so here to kind of rattle, shake up, and kind of distort maybe some of your views, where you are here to help others see that there's alternate ways to do things. There's alternate ways to honor certain situations. It might be the person where it's like, yeah, you don't have to change your religious beliefs, but there's a different way to approach it. Or, I'm here to help you understand, like, to break free from this way of thinking because there's another way to approach it in a way to really improve your life, right? Understand that's not the same as the 11th house. 11th house, we're not talking about expansion. We're not talking about journeys. We're not talking about these excursions and adventure and higher learning, right? 11th house is more that community-based networking, hopes. Pisces in ninth is here to remind you of how to ascertain your dreams. It reminds you not to be too wasteful, not to long too much for your dreams. It reminds you of the importance of seizing your dreams by experiencing, by going. It doesn't mean the individual, the messenger, is doing it themselves, but Pisces is on. And again, it's a connection there because remember, Pisces is ruled by Neptune, traditionally by Jupiter, and ninth house is Jupiter ruled. So Pisces in the ninth house, I think any Pisces, Jupiter, Sag connection is really strong, or it's a deep connection, even though Pisces and Sagittarius square each other in astrology. But the Pisces energy here is more about helping people activate their dreams and understand their dreams, messaging to people the things that they have to go do. It's more so about, no, it's not about a checklist. It's not about doing the things that are handed to you. No, it is not. You're not going to find the answer in the third house, right? This messenger is saying you're going to find the answer when you go venture out. You have to roam. You have to explore. You have to not even know your destination in order to really get there. That's the type of messenger.